right, hello guys. Sorry about the little delay there. Just doing a quick mic check. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Four people in the chat already. That makes me super happy. All right, Van Tran says, yeah, I can hear you. Wonderful, perfect. All right, guys. So, you guys who have been here before, you guys know the drill. We are going to be focusing on vocabulary today. Specifically, we are going to be doing jobs, work, and occupation. We are first going to get a very broad vocabulary. Basically, you guys in chat will tell me all the different words you know connected to this. And then after we do that, we will look at it section by section for the IELTS exam. We'll look at jobs and work for speaking part 1, speaking part 2, speaking part 3, writing task 1, and writing task 2 if it's applicable. Yeah, remember for these, the best live streams are super active. So if you guys can say hi in chat as you guys come in, Van Tran and Bai, you guys are already super students. And by the way, Bai, if you liked the thumbnail, you guys can thank Phil for that. He's our graphic artist. So all of the wonderful thumbnails that we've had so far have been made by him. Thank you. Personally, I think that those pictures tell me that I need to start working out. Because all the weight has gone to my face. So I need to become fit before I take any more pictures for more of those thumbnails. Just a reminder for anyone who's joining us for the first time, be active, say hi when you join, type things in chat. This is a safe place. Of course you are going to make mistakes. That's why you guys are students. Be brave and say what you can in chat. The best way to watch our stream is live. What I mean by that is make sure that you guys are not watching a playback. And you guys can see that here by making sure that you guys are not watching the playback, but actually press live to be up to date. If you guys like what you see, please hit the like button. It really helps us out a lot. Press live to be up to date. If you just put down that pizzazz, Michael. Thank you. Learning a great word from before. Yes. You can also check our schedule. Learning a great word from before. We updated it to make sure that it was live. We're going live every single day this month. In August, we will be putting up our new schedule before the month is going live every single day. Also, we updated the Discord link, so for anyone who's having trouble connecting, if you guys just click it, updated the Discord link, so for anyone who's having trouble connecting, if you guys just click it, updated, but you guys don't need to download anything. For anyone who's having trouble connecting, that you guys can get on your phone, or on your tablet, or on your browser, or on your computer, but you can also just do it on your browser. We have a super on your tablet or on your browser already up to 44 people, and we had a great speaking class last time. So I hope you guys have returned from that. Yes. Hello, Samil. Welcome. And Bai says that she have returned from that. Yes. Hello, Samil. Welcome. And Bai says that she have returned. I'm sorry, guys. That is because of the background. Okay. And Bai says that she have returned. I'm sorry, guys. That is because of the background. Okay. And Bai says that she have returned. Okay, so I fixed it. I am so sorry. There was a loop. That must have been very scary for all of you. I apologize. One last thing. So I fixed it. I am so sorry. There was a loop. That must have been very scary for all of you. Just so much of my voice. So again, you guys can look down here and see the document that we're going to be working from. And you guys will be able to just copy and paste from here anything that you like. Or you can download it and do what you would like as well that way. Without further ado, let's get started. We have a mock exam this Friday with Phil and a Saturday class with me to practice your speaking. And of course, you guys can send us your writing and speaking corrections anytime at corrections@theieltsgrind.com. Vocabulary is learned by reading. That's how you build your receptive vocabulary. Read every day for 20 minutes. And the best way to build your productive vocabulary is to use it. So make sure you come and join us on Saturday. Or get a vocab notebook. Okay. So first up, let's get a broad range of vocabulary from you guys. I want you guys to tell me as many words as you can that is connected to jobs. So for example, we may have types of jobs. We may also have positions. And we may have places of work. Okay. We could have collocations with job. And of course, we are going to fill this out. I want you guys in chat to be adding whatever you can. So just to give you guys a few examples to get started, you may be an office worker, a programmer, an English teacher. What are some other types of jobs? For positions, you may be a manager. You may be a sales assistant. You could be a CEO or a CFO or a CTO. There are so many of these. And places of work, you could work at a hospital. Hospital. And then down here for collocations, a good job, a bad job, a terrible job, a miserable job. You could also have other ones like a job offer. Basically, this is for you guys to build schema. For you guys to... Oh, and hello. Welcome, Uzal Mohad. Thanks for joining. Full-time, part-time. These are great. Man, you guys are on fire already. Yeah. Yin, that was terrible. I'm sorry you had to suffer through it. But basically, anytime when you guys write down words that you already know, before you learn new vocabulary, that's called building schema. Making good connections between vocab that you're learning and vocab that you've already known. And so that's why we're always going to start here. Let me start copying over some of those great ones that you guys have been putting up because they're fantastic. Okay, an entrepreneur, full-time job, part-time job. These are great. Okay. Would an entrepreneur be, okay, an entrepreneur would be a job. The position would be founder. So this is another thing. We can start contrasting the meanings between similar words. Many students get confused. So if you start a company, you're an entrepreneur. Your position in the company is the founder. So a lot of students get confused between these two words, and that's the difference there. Yeah, keep feeding them to me. You guys are on fire. A sawmill. A school. An office. Okay. Secretary, endless work. Oh man, that's true. Endless work, secretary, nice. Would secretary be a job or a position? I think it's a job. Okay. And ignore my terrible spelling. That's why we have spell check. Position, I just thought of another one. Team lead. So a lot of people actually have this job. A lot of people I've taught. A team lead. Salary, wage, personal trainer, engineer, police. These are all great. By the way, Uzal Mahood, I'm sorry that it's a little bit fuzzy. That does happen. The best thing I can do is zoom in. On mobile devices, we sometimes run into trouble. If you're on your computer, your screen should be perfectly clear. Okay. Let me add some more here. Engineer and police, yeah. By the way, do you guys know of different types of engineers? Police officer, engineer, director. Ooh. Yes. So the director. So you could be a movie director, or you could be the director of studies. Okay. Salary, wage, very important words. So where would I put that? I guess this would go under describing a job. So a salary or a wage. Let's put these different because this is something that I want to teach you guys. After you guys get a really broad civil engineer, administrator, these are great. You guys are on fire. Is a thief considered a job? I guess it would be. It would be a job that you don't want to a job that you don't want to tell people you do. Types of job. A thief. Yeah, I guess you could say that. A thief. So here we could put frowned upon jobs. That's hilarious. Yes. For jobs that are frowned upon. So a thief, maybe a mercenary, or sorry, a hired killer, or a hitman. Those are the fun ones. Are there any hitmen here? Should I be scared? Yeah, but down here, before I continue putting your guys' stuff up there, a dragon tamer, yes. I wish that was my job. YouTuber, yes, that's something I would say. TikToker, hacker, are they all the same? So yeah, I'll put that up here because it's great. Dragon tamer. Actually, a real job is a lion tamer. So, let me put up here, waitress, athlete, and I'll do one more because we're just about full. Social, an influencer. So this would be a YouTuber or a TikToker. Okay, nice. And frowned upon jobs. I just find that hilarious. You guys are great. Okay. So what I wanted to do, because you guys have been fantastic, supervisor, that's a good synonym for manager. So I will put that up here just because a lot of people want to think of synonyms for things. Supervisor is a fantastic synonym for manager. Okay. So a chef, a social worker, a nurse, a teacher, a mentor. Ooh, I'm going to put mentor up here. And I think a lot of people don't know this. This is an more experienced employee who teaches a mentee. And there should be an accent over that. It's a French word. Or a less experienced or younger employee. Okay, nice. That was really good. By the way, I hope that this is helping you guys out, the difference between positions and jobs, because a lot of people confuse the two. You can use them interchangeably a lot. You can use one for the other very often, but it is nice to know that there is a difference. Okay. So I wanted to go down here to salary and wage, because these are two words that are used very often, but they're often used wrong. And remember, guys, you don't only want to have a lot of different words known, you want to actually be able to use them. I was actually having this very same conversation with some of my students today, where they tried to use these high-level words that they learned. They know that they're high-level, but when they tried to use it, they use them completely wrong. And that's why you guys are here, right? Is to learn these. Is tutor an English word? A tutor is a word in English, but it is it's It's a synonym for teacher. In the UK, it's a synonym for teacher. In the US, it has a slightly different meaning. So teacher/tutor. In the UK, they are synonyms. So same meaning. In the US, a tutor is someone who is a private teacher. So they teach you one-on-one. They teach one-on-one or small groups of students. So this is something to know. A lot of times the vocabulary that they will use on the IELTS exam is going to be the UK English version. They accept both. So for example, if you're speaking, you can say teacher or tutor. You can use the US version if you want. But on the listening part of the exam, they'll probably say tutor instead. So this does confuse a lot of people who are more familiar with the US English. Okay. Let's come down here to salary and wage. Do you guys know the difference between a salary and a wage? Anyone know? Difference between salary and wage? Preceptor and pedagogue. Oh man, Raghav. Those are examples of words that, like, I'm sure that they're correct in English, but I have never used them before. I have used the word pedagogy, which is the method through which you speak. Make sure you have good pedagogy when you're teaching. But I have never used the word pedagogue. But I know that it's a good word. So Raghav, be careful. That's exactly what I was talking about just a few minutes ago. Learning high-level words does not necessarily mean that you will have a high-level vocab score. You need to make sure you know how to use them well. So let's go to salary and wage. You guys already probably know some some collocations. High salary job or position. Okay. He earns a high salary. I wish I had a job with a better salary. So these are all perfectly good sentences, and this is how you would use it. Here's a few collocations with wage, or definitions of it. So I make $10 an hour, or I make $20 an hour. This is wage versus salary. A salary is a fixed amount of money. What that means is every month you get the same amount of money. Okay? Versus a wage, which is how much you get paid for your work. So let's think of some examples. I'm stuck in a job that pays me low wages. If you guys can think of any other sentences or frames or collocations with wage and salary, please let me know and put them in. Yep, salaries are monthly, though actually in the US, they are usually bi-monthly. It was really interesting, and this means twice a month. It was really interesting going from America to China when I lived in mainland China, because yeah, this is a huge difference. In America, you get paid every 2 weeks. That's the norm. A few places probably pay you monthly, but every 2 weeks is very normal in the US. Yes. A wage is the amount you get paid per unit of work, usually an hour. So I'm stuck in a job that pays me low wages. I make $10 an hour. Yes, an hourly employee. I work at Starbucks, so I am an hourly employee. Okay. Let's see some more. See, you said that a salary is about how much one gains in a year. I don't know if we have a word for that, but we do use that. So often if you say, how much, sorry for caps, how much do you make? In America, we will often say our yearly wages. So for example, I'm an engineer, so I make 120K a year. Okay, again, I don't think we have a word for the yearly salary, but we do use it when we're discussing our pay. Okay, income, that's another great word that a lot of people have trouble with. So, when you're talking about work, you will say salary and wage. You don't talk about income when you're talking about work. Okay, if you're talking about your household income, what is your household's income? This would be okay. And I'm really glad that you said this because, again, income is a word that a lot of people try to use as a synonym. So, can't be used instead of salary or wage. Okay. Yeah, so really good asking about that. Household income, yeah. I need more income is not good. All right, great job with these guys. Let's see if there's any others that we really want to jump in deep for. So profit for an entrepreneur. So if you're talking about business, then we have another set of words that we can use. So let's make a new thing here. Business terms. And here we can talk about profit, which is equal to revenue minus costs. Okay. And the person who does this is an accountant. Calculates a company's profit or profit margin, if you want to be more specific. Okay. A company's income is good. Yes, a company's income. Okay, these are fantastic. Overhead costs, taking risks. That's right. So for different types of costs, you can have a fixed cost, which is like rent. It's something that you have to pay regardless of if you make profit. You can also have overhead costs. And these are the costs that you pay. They're very similar to fixed costs. It's what you have to pay, like when you pay your employees and your rent. So fixed costs and overhead costs are pretty much the same most of the time. And this is as opposed to variable costs, which this is like the materials for production. Fixed costs are costs that you have to pay, even if you don't make a profit. Okay. Turnover, spending, company spending. Yeah, company spending is also fine. These have different meanings, but you can use them in the same sentence here. An accountant, a bookkeeper is a good synonym for accountant. Excellent. You guys are on fire today. Turnover. So some collocations with turnover. You can have high turnover or low turnover. And this is, in case you don't know, this is how often you need to replace an employee. So Amazon is a company that is famous for having a high turnover. Last year, it even reached 150% for some locations. Okay, and this is what you guys are really here for, right? These high-level sentence frames. And by the way, if anyone is new, a sentence frame is a sentence that you guys can take and then change to change easily and have a high vocab or grammar score. So we know that this is an awesome sentence. If we take the same thing and we can say the IELTS Grind is a company that is famous for having a low turnover. Last year, it even reached as low as 0% because me and Phil are the only 2 employees and we didn't quit. So we have a turnover of 0%. We hired 2 people, me and Phil, and then no one left the company, so it's 0%. Okay. So these are business terms, which are things that you may have studied if you studied business. There's one more that I want to make sure you guys know, because we have full-time, part-time job, a temporary job, or temp work, seasonal work, and then a hustle. So I do want to show you these and their meanings. Full-time job is a job where you work full-time. And in America, that means 40 hours a week. In other places, like in France, I think it's as low as 35 hours a week, maybe even 30 hours a week. To give you a sentence, I don't have a full-time job right now. So I'm looking for more work. Okay. A part-time job is a job where you work less than 40 hours a week. So as a teacher, some people think I am only working a part-time job since I only have 15 teaching hours a week. What they don't know is that with all the essays and homework I have to grade, I am really working 25 hours a week. By the way, just to show you some great sentence frames you can steal, as a teacher, this is a great way to start answer. So you're saying, this is basically from my perspective, from my experience. So as a teacher, as a student, as an engineer, okay. Some people think is another great way to start a conversation. And, oh, self-employed. These are great. A freelancer. Let me add those. You guys are on fire. Thanks for putting these out. Freelance work is actually very similar to a hustle. So we'll put those together. Contract work is, everything is monetary work, Van Tran. At least I hope that everything is monetary work. Contract work. What was another one? Samil says 35. Oh, so lucky. An itinerary job. I don't actually know that one off the top of my head. Rangana, that's perfect. Self-employed. This is very similar to freelance work. It's actually closer to freelance work than a hustle is. Contract work, and there was one more. I was inspired because Van Tran said monetary work, a monetary job, a volunteer job, or volunteer work. Both work. Does anyone volunteer? Maybe at like a homeless shelter or soup kitchen, or maybe they help at an environmental organization. Any good people here? If you're a good person, feel free to brag. I like good people in my stream. So yeah. Oh, volunteer work? Volunteer work is work you do that doesn't pay you. I know you guys are probably going, what? Why would anyone do that? Some people do it because they have free time. Some people do it because it makes them feel good about themselves. Or they like to give back to the community. And I'm just going to put some examples here. Volunteering at a homeless shelter. Or a soup kitchen. You can also volunteer like at a local school event. And then finally, a common place to volunteer is like if you're doing a cleanup. So like with a nature conservancy organization. And when there, you might do a beach cleanup, collect trash or litter in a river. Oh my goodness, that is a huge cockroach. I'm so sorry, guys. 1 second. Yeah. Get away. Okay, I hope he doesn't run at me. If you hear me scream like a little girl, that's why. Okay. And Bai says, I do volunteer in dog training classes. Oh, man. Or you can volunteer at a library. That's exactly right. Yeah. So Raghaft does volunteer babysitting. That's awesome. Yeah. Volunteering is actually a huge thing in like American culture. It's really interesting, Raghav, that you said you volunteer as a babysitter. Most people, at least in America, most babysitters are paid. Yeah, you could babysit, like a grandparent might babysit for free for their children, or same with an aunt and uncle or a cousin. But a lot of times, babysitting is big business. My sister was a babysitter. Let me add that somewhere. Okay. My sister was a babysitter in our neighborhood, and she was making... My sister was babysitting. She was making $20 an hour. She usually worked 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Twice a week. So she was making really good money. I'm not sure if babysitting is lucrative in other cultures, but it is in America. It was a very lucrative gig. Again, I hope you guys see some great collocations and words or synonyms that you guys want to steal. Again, if anyone is new popping in, feel free to say hi. I'd like an active class. And by the way, this was a really good sentence frame that I hope you guys can steal for yourselves. I'm unhighlighting the amounts. And if anyone wants to try to steal this sentence frame and put it in chat, I will let you know if you said it correctly. Okay. So again, this is an example of a sentence frame. When I was working, let's see, what's a job? When I was working at a movie theater, I was making $7 an hour. I usually worked about 8 hours in the evening, 4 nights a week. It was not a very lucrative gig. So if any of you guys want to put a sentence like that in chat, or if you guys ever want to add a sentence to see if it's okay, feel free to do that. All right, we've done a great job so far. I hope you guys can see we've got some good sentence frames that you guys can be stealing. If there were anything here that you guys don't know, feel free to ask in chat, but it's time to move on to the next section. So we've done our broad survey of vocabulary. What we're going to do next is we're going to go down here and do task 2, occupations, work, and jobs. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things. Number 1, we're going to come up with a bunch of questions that are related to this topic that we may need to answer on the IELTS exam. I'll do 1 or 2. And let me see, Samil says, when I was a math tutor, I was making $5 per student an hour. The money was not so fulfilling, but the job was rewarding. Ooh, Samil, I like that one. Let's fix it up a little bit. There were just a few small things. But yeah, that was really good. Thank you, Samil, for being so brave, by the way. I love brave students. It makes you super. Okay. So, when I was a math tutor, I was making, we would change this to always put the dollars first, $5 per student an hour. The rest of this is fine. The money was not so fulfilling. This is a little weird. The money was not so fulfilling. I would probably change this to the money wasn't great, but the job was rewarding. Okay, there you go. And now it is perfect. So Samil, thank you so much for putting this forward. So brave, so awesome. And sorry, but the job was rewarding. Yes. Okay. Now if you said this, it would be a perfect 7 sentence. Just fantastic. Okay, thanks Samil. And again, for anyone else who wants to try, go on ahead. One last little thing. This is a pet peeve. This is a little thing that's very annoying. We don't have a comma, we don't have a space before a comma, always after a comma. Now this is annoying to me, but I totally understand why this happens. Different languages have different punctuation rules, and so of course you guys don't know that there is no space before a comma. It's just something that you guys need to learn, especially if you guys are studying for IELTS. Punctuation problems are one of the biggest killers for listening and also for writing. It can lower your score if you have too many punctuation problems. All right, but let's move on. Let's do jobs, occupations, work, task 2. So of course, because this is task 2, this is writing. Writing task 2. I'm gonna do one for all of you guys. And Raghav says pet peeve. Okay, so I'll add pet peeve down here. I think it's spelled like this. I've never written it down before. Okay, a pet peeve. Something that a person finds annoying. This is, so just to give you guys a sentence that uses it. Okay. People eating with their mouth open. Or, geez, how would I use it? A huge pet peeve of mine is when people don't speak in chat. No, is when people don't listen to what I say. Okay. So a pet peeve is one thing that a person finds very annoying. So like a pet peeve for someone like Phil would be basic grammar mistakes. Yes. Okay. Oh, pet peeve, you understand. Okay. Raghav, do you have many pet peeves? While Raghav is answering that, let's come up with some writing task 2 prompts that we may need to answer. So more and more jobs are becoming automated. Some people are worried about this, while others see it as a good thing. Discuss both sides and give your opinion and your opinion. Okay, Now, of course, this could also be a opinion essay. By the way, if anyone is new, make sure you guys know the difference. You will always know what type of essay you need to write by the last sentence in the prompt. So this is a 2 sides plus opinion essay. If we wanted to change this, we would say, do you agree with them? Okay, so these are 2. Honking cars are my biggest pet peeve. Oh man, and I bet you there's a bunch of them in your neighborhood, isn't there? If you live in a city, there's cars honking everywhere. Okay, do you guys have any more ideas that you guys can think of for writing task 2? Remember, these are going to be topics that most people are going to be able to talk about, and they're going to be pretty broad. So what are some trends in work that we could talk about in this exam? After we come up with maybe 4 or 6 questions, then we'll look at the vocabulary for discussing one of them. Anybody got any good questions? I know that you're really good at this. But anyone and everyone can throw some on here. I believe in you guys. You can do it. All right. I'll do one more while you guys are thinking. I know that you guys are probably slow typers. Having to type in English is never fun if you're used to typing in another language. So, let's see. With recent advances in what kind of technology? In communications technology, more and more people are requesting that they work remote. Is this a positive trend or a negative trend? I'm sorry if there's spelling mistakes. Oh man, looks like Lei Feng is trying it out. Excellent. Let me just really quickly show you a different type of question that this could have turned into. And then we'll throw Lei Feng's in here as well. So this could be a problem solution essay if this was phrased as many companies are worried that with recent advances. Yep. Okay. Let me throw Lei Feng's up here, and I'll leave this here if anyone wants to read it. Lei Feng, thank you for being so brave. Some people claim that it is necessary to work hard in order to achieve success. To what? We're missing one little word, and then it's perfect. To what extent do you agree or disagree? And right down here, this is beautiful. This is actually exactly what you would probably see on the real exam. To what extent do you agree or disagree? This is nice. So let's talk about this one. We're not going to spend too much time here because we still need to talk about 2 and 3. But remember, guys, if there's any new people who've just joined, that you guys can look at this whole document at your own time just by going over here and clicking the first link. And it will bring you right on over, and you guys can look through it on your own. This is especially useful for anyone who is watching on their mobile device where the screen might be blurry. Okay, and looks like Bai is also throwing her hat in the ring. Nice. Okay. Yes. And to what extent do you agree simply means how much do you agree. Some people think that salary is the most important thing when considering their careers. Yeah, when considering their careers. Some others think we should think about other factors. Do you agree or disagree? Okay. This one. So I'm going to split this into two because this is great if you get rid of one sentence or if you change the other. So if you deleted this, then do you agree or disagree with this idea? And then over here, we would change this to discuss both sides and give your own opinion. All right. Yeah, great. And whoa, man, you guys are on fire with these. Oh man, let me just put these over and discuss each one briefly, and then we'll choose one to really dive into. Some people think money. Oh no, that's part of that. Be gone. Okay. Some people think a huge money gap between athletes and professionals in other types of job is unfair. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. This one would more likely be to what extent do you agree? Okay. We could make it two sides plus opinion, but we'd have to change the topic a little bit. But Samil, that was awesome. Okay. And there was one more. Oh, man. Bai and Samil, are you guys in the same room? Are you guys cheating off of each other? These look very similar. These look very similar indeed. Oh, man. Okay. So let's choose one of these and dive into it. We're going to come up with some big ideas, some details, and then we'll move on very quickly because we still need to talk about speaking. So let's do some mills. Okay. And again, everyone who's contributed one, you guys are all awesome. Thanks so much. These are great. So some people think that a huge money gap between athletes and other professionals and professionals in other jobs is unfair. To what extent do you agree or disagree? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's fair that athletes make so much money, or is it unfair? Do you think it's fair that teachers only make $30,000, $40,000 a year in America, while some athletes can make millions of dollars a season? Is that fair or unfair? Rupinder, I think it's fair. Is that because you want to be an athlete, a superstar in the future? Rupinder, why do you think that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to know what you're thinking. By the way, if I like to tease my students, so this is for everyone. If I ever say anything that you don't like or makes you a little uncomfortable, feel free to let me know either privately through DM on Discord or in chat, and I will stop. And hello, Rasitha. And Van Tran says no. And Rashitha says, oh, she's offering another one up here. And I'll throw that in. But what we're going to be doing from here on out is working on Samil's problem. So we have one going one way and one going the other. What about the rest of you? that's true. That's true. Rupinder says, nope, I think they work really hard and represent their country at an international level. Yeah, they work really hard. Okay. And for those of you guys, Yin and Rasitha, make sure that you guys decide what the question itself should be, because remember, that's the topic, but the question is also very important. So I'm going to throw these up here because they're great, but make sure you guys have that last sentence as well. Okay, but let's continue with our discussion about Shamil's question. So right now there are two theses. One will be, I think that it is fair for athletes to make so much more than other professions. And then there's a thesis that says, I don't think it's fair for athletes to make so much more than other professions. So right now we have Van Tran for thesis B, and I believe that was Rupinder for thesis A. Okay, and we already have a detail coming up, which is they work hard, so they deserve to make as much as they do. We have another person, Trumpado. Welcome, Trumpado. Nice to see you. Who says they have a lot of physical risk. They are susceptible to a lot of physical risk. You could also say they put themselves in harm's way. Or you could say there is a large risk or chance of them getting seriously injured. By the way, this is a vocab lesson, so I hope you guys see that I have 3 completely different leveled sentences that you guys can steal. And I see a lot of people jumping on. Nice. Right now we have a capybara, a manatee, octopus, a kiwi, and a lemur. Nice. Okay. And then Bai says, you think it's fair because it takes a long time. So it's kind of a example underneath this one. It takes a long time for them to get good enough to be a professional athlete. Nice. Okay. Oh man, Van Tran, I'm so sorry. You're the only one who said no. But that doesn't mean that you're wrong. It means that you have to work harder to come up with solutions to counter them. Okay. And Lei Feng says they spend a huge amount of time on training and they highly to encounter physical risk. So I want you guys to see that what I've written here is what should be said. They're susceptible to a lot of physical risk. They put themselves in harm's way. There is a large risk or a large chance of them getting seriously injured. This is the correct way to say it. And this is why a lot of you guys are here, right? Is you guys tell me your ideas and then I tell you how to say it in perfect, fantastic, native level English. Yes. Okay. As a sub point for this one, I like what Raghav said here. There is a so as a result, their career may abruptly end. Another way that you can say this is they may end up getting a career-ending injury. Okay. Now, everything that you guys have said here, if you guys put this in an essay, it would be perfectly fine. I'm going to give you guys one more. Okay. Rashitha, I like what you said. I'm going to copy and paste it exactly because I don't see any vocabulary mistakes or grammar mistakes. But I do want to point something out. What Rashitha has put right here is a great sentence. Most talented sports professionals must undergo many years of training to develop the skills and fitness required, and this takes great commitment, dedication, and passion. Vocab is fine. Grammar is fine. It's really good. But there is a really, really big thing. You've got to make sure that it connects to they deserve to make as much as they do. It's important that you always say that connection. So compared to other jobs that don't require as much work, of course they should make the amount of money that they do. The most important thing here is compared to other jobs that don't require too much work. This is that CC. This is the connection that you're making to your great sentence to your topic sentence. And this is something I want all of you guys to remember when you're writing in your essays. English listeners, English readers are idiots. They're stupid. English is a low context, direct language. If you don't say a connection clearly and explicitly, there is no connection. And this causes a lot of students to lower their band score for their writing and for their speaking because there isn't cohesion, there isn't coherence because the connection is not clearly stated or said. So again, beautiful sentence, perfect vocab and grammar. Just make sure you always have that connection as well. All right, excellent job, guys. We're going to stop here because I think Van Tran is crying because everyone went for the other thesis. Yeah. So just as an example, when Lei Feng said, I think it's fair because, that's perfect. Grammar accuracy. So when you guys, just a quick thing for anyone who doesn't know, when you guys are taking the IELTS exam, there are 4 grading criteria. There is, let me just make a quick table. There's task achievement for task 1 or task response for task 2. That's do you answer the question. There's CC, which is cohesion and coherence. That's do you connect your ideas? Do you have the correct number of paragraphs? Do your ideas logically connect to each other? Next you have LR, which is lexical resource, which is teacher speak for vocabulary. And then finally you have grammatical range and accuracy, which is do you use high-level grammar? Do you use it correctly? Do you use a lot of different types of grammar? That's GRE, grammatical range and accuracy. Okay. Bai says, I thought Michael was the one who's crying as a hard-working teacher. Ha. Thank you. And by the way, that is a great sentence. I'm going to put that up here. Michael is a very hard-working teacher. You all are very hard-working students. So this is a great collocation, and I hope you guys remember it. And I hope you say it to your friends often. Michael is a very hard-working teacher. Just slip that into conversations. When you're talking to your friends, just go, oh yeah, today's a beautiful day. I watched that movie. It was great. Also, Michael's a hard-working teacher. Just say it all the time. I'll give you an A if you just slip that in. Okay. Moving on to occupations for work for task 1. This is only going to take us 5 minutes because there's only really 2 types of essays where you may have to do this. The first one is going to be describing a process, man-made. And this may be something like, you may have to describe a like a recycling plant, so the recycling process. You may have to describe an agricultural process, or you may have to describe a manufacturing process. And really the only words that you guys need to learn is the jobs that you may see here, and then the processes that they make. So for example, a farmhand, a farmer, a farmhand, and then the verbs may be harvest the crop or harvest the plant. What's another thing they do? Ferment a product or a crop. Harvest, ferment, ship. So these are all the verbs that you may have to use. If anyone can think of any other verbs that may be described in a natural process, this will help you out a lot. I'm not looking for all verbs, so a natural process, or like on a farm, fruits may ripen. That's a great verb, but it's not something a farmer does. The farmers harvest the crops, process the crops, ferment the crops, ship the crops, and yeah. Thank you, bye. I will secretly slip into the room and listen to you guys sing my praises. Okay. For a recycling process, workers may collect the bottles, sort the material. What's something else that they may do? They may... There's really not... A lot of it is done by machines. And so it's not what the people would do. Yeah. Okay. So not too much there. And it is finally time for everyone's favorite, which is speaking part 1. So I want you guys to do the same thing as we did before. Can you guys really quickly come up with a bunch of questions about jobs, work, or occupation that you think would be good to study for the IELTS exam? So here's an easy one. What do you do? Do you work? What do you think about your coworkers? Who was the first person you ever met at your job? What are some more? Do you like your job? That's a really good one. Do you like your job? And underneath that, it could be, what do you like about your job? Give me some more. These are great. Where is your recent job place? Okay. Where was the last place that you worked? Okay. How many jobs have you had? Do you like to change anything at work? Okay, these are great. Why did you choose this job? I like that one. Okay. Why did you choose this job? You guys are on fire here. What technology do you use in your job? We did this during technology, nice. What is your dream job? So I'm fixing some small grammar mistakes that I'm seeing when I type it up. I hope you guys realize the difference between what you said and what I've been writing. What is your dream job? And then I'll also put the other good one that was up here. Would you change anything about your job? Okay. What would your ideal job be? And do you enjoy your job? What do you do for a living? That's nice. That's up here. Okay. Do you want to work for a short time in another country? I like that one. And how your job is helping people. How does your job help people? Okay. Do you want to continue this job or change it? Okay. No, these are great. You guys are on fire. Man. And this will be the last one because we're already on the next page. What duties or responsibilities do you have to perform at work? And what are your career goals? All right, fantastic. Okay, what's going to happen next is two things. Number one, I want you guys to choose which ones you would like me to answer. And then number two, I want you guys to try to answer these on your own. Now, I do want to point out right now, while we have so many people, is that, and that's another good one for Rasitha. What do you dislike about your job? Okay, so one thing that I want to say is after this live stream is over, if you guys still have energy, don't forget that we have a very active Discord community. All you have to do is click this link right here. This is the the fourth link. And when you do, I've got the Discord app, that's why it's saying this to me. But when you open it, you guys will be able to chat with each other. Again, it's not opening because I have the app downloaded on my computer. And so it's like, why aren't you using that? But it's free to use. You guys can just jump in and ask and answer all of these wonderful questions to each other. Okay. So, let's see. Which one of these do you want me to answer? Because I can give you a high-level answer if you'd like. And then also, please take your time and answer some of these yourself in chat. And I will let you know how it goes. And I will fix it and make it perfect. High level. Rykev says all of them. Answer all of them, please. Because I still want to have some time to do part 3. Please choose like 4 or 5 for me to answer. And I'm assuming that you guys are just right now trying to type some answers for these. Okay, take your time. Type up your answers, put them into the live stream chat. Hello, any new people. We are answering these questions in the chat right now if you guys want to give it a try. And we're also choosing which ones I should answer. While you guys are typing, I'm just going to choose some that I know are difficult. I'll do some that are commonly are common mistakes. Okay. Where did it go? It was a really good one. Oh, why did you choose this job? I can do that one as well, of course. I'm putting the ones that are often confused together. Oh, and there's one more that I'm going to add, actually. When do you normally work? Which can also be answered as, what are your regular working hours? And how do you usually get to work? These are things I often hear my students say in class too. What is your dream job? Okay. Okay. What do you think about your coworkers? Yep, I can do that one too. Oh no. Okay. All right, I will do these 5, and the first 3 I will kind of do together because a lot of students have trouble because they confuse them. Okay, so remember, while I'm putting these up, I hope, and giving you guys my high-level, high vocab answers, I hope you guys choose any of these questions. And if there's any new people here, remember, you guys can always just click the link right here. It's in the description. And in chat, leave your own answers. And I will get to them as soon as I'm done or in between doing these. Okay, so let me do this one. What do you like about your job? I love the flexible schedule I have. I'm talking, I can tell my boss what days I am free to work and which ones I can't. I can also tell them how many hours I want to work, and they will oblige me. It is just fantastic. I can even take an entire 2 months off if I tell them 3 months ahead of time. But, of course, I won't get paid for this time. Okay, so this is talking about a flexible schedule. Great vocab here. Okay. And then, what do you like about your job? I love that I can work online. I don't have a manager breathing down my neck, and I can take breaks as I need. I also don't have to be bothered by any of my annoying coworkers. Okay. Now let's see. Bai is brave. She gave us her own answer. Let's put this up here. And by the way, if you guys, I'm speaking slowly because I'm typing, but if you guys want me to, I love the little emoji down here, but if you guys want me to say at full speed so that you guys can practice, listen, and say with what I say, just let me know in chat and I will do that. So let's see Bai's. As a pet groomer, I'm helping people who are struggling to brush out the mats on their pets. Mats in their pets? In their pet's fur. In their pet's fur. Also, by making dogs look nice and tidy, they can get more chance to be adopted. Ah, there is a better chance for them to get adopted. Higher or better chance for them to get adopted. Okay. So I would add one more sentence to make the last one clear. I hope that all dogs can find a good home. And this last sentence I'm adding just because you need to make sure that this clause, this sentence, is clearly connected to what do you like about your job. Like I said, English readers, English listeners are stupid. You need to say these connections clearly. Other than that, it's really good. Excellent job. Ooh, and that's a really good one. Let me add that. What you said is perfect, Bai. I'm actually already doing my dream job. Aw, that's so cute. So nice. So lucky. I'm very jealous. Okay. Are you guys also jealous of Bai? Or would you not want to be a pet groomer? Okay. Excellent job. So remember, you guys can answer any of these questions, and I will fix it for you. While you guys are typing, let me do the next one. Would you change anything about your job? So this is the thing that a lot of students have trouble with. Because would you like to change anything about your job? So would you like to change anything about your job? A lot of students, they hear like, and they don't hear would. And so they answer the wrong question. They say what they like about their job. But these are completely different questions. It really sucks. It really sucks that you need to listen to the first word in a question to know what tense you should use, to know what grammar you should use. The first word is the most important, but they're always unstressed. Would you like? Would you like? Like is stressed, would is not. Do you like? Would you like? Do you like? Would you like? It's so fast, it's so small, it's easy to miss. And when a native speaker is talking to you, and almost every single IELTS examiner is going to be a native English speaker. And most of them are teachers. I think all of them are teachers. So they, during the test, if they think you're lower level, they may slow down their speech a little bit. But if they are speaking at a fast level, it's really hard to hear. Would you like? Do you like? Would you like a cup of coffee? Do you like coffee? Those are two different questions. Do you like coffee? Yes, I like coffee. It tastes delicious. Would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like a coffee? No, thank you. I'm not thirsty right now. Oh, so tough, so difficult. So, I see some people in chat. Lei Feng says, is breathing down my neck an idiom? It is. If someone's breathing down your neck, that means they're really pushing you to, like, they're making sure you do your job. They're not letting you have a break. They're always watching you. That's what breathing down my neck means. And then I was answering, how does your job help people? Oh no! Bye, I'm sorry. How does your job help people? Let me move this over too. Okay. I hope you can see that they work in both situations. Let me throw this over where it belongs. How does your job help people? Okay. I'm sorry, bye. Okay. Nice. Next up, let me show you guys what I mean. Down here, yes. Would you like to change anything about your job? You will be using the conditional. That's exactly right, Raghav. So would you like to change anything about your job? Not really. I think my job is fantastic. And there really isn't anything I'd want to change. I love my coworkers. I love my boss. And I love what I do. I can even work from home if I want. Okay. I want you guys to see it's okay to say not really, but you really need to sell, you really need to add details, because not really is not good enough. Like, I have 3 full sentences explaining why I don't want it to change, why everything is perfect. You would need to do the same if you say not really. If you say the positive, I would probably change the office location. It is downtown, which means it's super expensive. I could never afford to live nearby, but I absolutely hate the commute. It takes me an hour and a half to get there, and the same time to get back. Okay. So this is the office location that we're highlighting here, and we're saying why I can't live closer, and I'm also saying that the commute is terrible, so that's why I would change it. I would love if it was located right next door. And I want to show you guys another thing, that this is present simple, and this is describing a could statement. Okay. This is present simple, and this is present simple. My details are present simple because these are reasons why it's not great now. But when I'm saying what I would change, then you're using the conditional. You're using I would love it if. So this is something that I want to point out. Just because the answer is the conditional doesn't mean every sentence is conditional. Your details will often use a different grammar. And this is how you get a higher level score, like a 7 or an 8, is you're showing you can use the grammar appropriately. Samil has an answer. Why did you choose this job? Let me put it up for you. I'll put it right here. Okay. So why did you choose this job? I'm going to point out something that you can do if you want to. You can use a question like this if you want to save time. Just be careful of your inflection. What I mean by that is when you're asking yourself a question, you use a different inflection than you normally would. So, why did you choose this job, Michael? Why did I choose this job? You can use this if you need time to think, which I think is extremely helpful. Why did I, again, be careful that you're changing this. Why did I choose this job? Why did I choose this job? The reason is I feel very comfortable in my current job. It has good perspectives. I'm able to do it remotely, and I can get paid as a freelancer, not depending on the company. Okay, 2 things that I'm not quite sure of here. Perspectives. It has good perspectives. Not quite sure what you mean here. Not depending on the company. I'm also not 100% sure of what you mean. So if you want to clarify that, Samil, I can type up another one and fix it for you. By the way, to give you my own high-level answer, and by the way, Samil, thank you so much for putting that in chat. So brave. I love it. So why did you choose this job? I chose to be a teacher because I was a naive fool. When I was in college, I had a friend who was a Chinese national. That means he came from China. I didn't realize that he came from an extremely wealthy family. He told me that if I moved to his hometown, I could make $1,000 per student per month. I did some quick math and thought, man, if I had 12 students, I could make $144K a year. This did not turn out to be true. This is actually a true story. This is literally what happened to me. When I was in college, I had a friend who was from China, and he told me, oh, if you come to my hometown, you can live in one of my family's 3 houses. Students will pay you $1,000 will pay you $1,000 a month to tutor them. And in my head, I was thinking $1,000 US, and I was thinking, if I had 12 students, that would be $144,000 a year. That's fantastic. I didn't realize he was talking about yuan. He was talking about Chinese dollars, not US dollars. And yeah, I didn't even go to his hometown. I went to a different city in China, and it was not this way. But I fell in love with it. Yes. So does anyone have a similar story that they want to share about why they chose their job? While you're typing that up, by the way, this is really useful. I was a naive fool. Maybe you guys can say that. What do you think about your coworkers? They're okay, I guess. I don't really know them very well. We don't hang out outside of work, and we only talk about work problems when we are there. I don't really want to get to know them either. So if you guys probably have so this is not a very nice thing to say, but the grammar and vocab is great. If you guys want to have an answer that's a bit nicer, feel free to put your own answer in chat, and maybe we'll have a better answer. My girlfriend heard my answer, and she's giving me weird looks because we work together. So she's probably taking this very personally. Yes. So I hope that you guys give your own answers for what do you think about your coworkers, because even though this has perfect grammar and vocabulary, it doesn't make you look like a very nice person. Okay. So yeah, take some time, answer this one, do your best, just like the anonymous manatee. By the way, I realized during the reading on Wednesday that most people don't know many animals. So when I say anonymous manatee, you guys probably have no idea. Let me show you a picture of a manatee, just because it's adorable. They are basically cows of the sea. Don't they look so cute? These are manatees. We have them in Florida, in the US. So I don't know if manatees are widespread, if any of you guys have them near your country, but they are cute. Okay, and yes, Raghav, the way to describe my answer is haughty. This is a very haughty answer. By the way, if you guys, when I'm working on another section or another question, feel free to still give me answers from previous questions. I can always go back and look at them. Okay, so let's go on. We're going to skip over occupations part 2. Maybe I'll just throw 1 or 2, but I have a feeling you guys probably want more help with part 3. So, describe a person who you work with. You should say who they are, what their responsibilities are, when they started, and explain how you feel about them. Okay? And then I'll do one more here. Describe a person you know who started a company. You should say what they are like, when they started the company, if their company was successful, and explain how you know them. Now, of course, on the real exam, they may be completely different questions, but I hope this gives you a good spread. And Ian says, you saw the Zay Frank channel, and thank you so much for checking out my recommendation. Zay Frank is hilarious. I'm glad that you enjoyed him. I love sharing things that I find hilarious, and Zay Frank on YouTube is great. Zay Frank 1, as you guys can see in chat, is the name of his channel if you guys want to check that out. But let's move down here to work and occupation for speaking part 3. So let's throw some stuff out here. Remember, there's always going to be 3 different levels of questions, and the third section is always going to be the most abstract. So the first section is going to be the least abstract. So this will be things like, what jobs are popular for young people in your country? How has work changed in the past 50 years? Okay. The second one will be more abstract. So, what do companies look for in an employee? What should people do if they are looking to get promoted? And of course, the third section is always going to be the most abstract. How is our definition of work changing? What types of jobs are guaranteed to be lost to automation in the future? Okay, so I'm not going to lie, some of these are probably a bit more difficult than you would see, but these are the types of questions that would be asked. This is also why I tell my students, generally if you're going for a 6.5, they're probably going to ask you questions from the first section and the last section. So if you're going for a 6.5 and you have a couple easy questions in part 3, and then they suddenly give you some really difficult questions, you should be happy, because that means they think that you're higher level. Yeah. Okay. It looks like some people have thrown some answers up. So while I'm looking over those answers, please come up with some more part 3 speaking questions about work or occupation, and I will sort them accordingly. So yeah, please come up with some more questions while I go up here and look at people's answers. So what do you think about your coworkers? Samil gave us a great answer. Okay. My colleagues are very talkative people, so it is easy to make an appointment and hang out with them. Okay, this is not wrong, but it sounds weird. The connection is weird, the grammar and vocab is perfectly fine. I enjoy the company of my coworkers. By the way, this is a nice high-level little sentence frame that you guys can steal. I enjoy the company of someone. Okay, this is a very high-level way to say it. We have too many memorable stories at work and out of work. Too many is always going to be a negative thing. Too many is always negative. So we have so many memorable stories from work and outside of it. From work. If you didn't want to say from work, you could have also said from after work. Okay. All right, this isn't bad. Using a being descriptive in the beginning is a good thing. So you're saying what type of people they are. And then saying a connection is also quite good. They're talkative people, so that's really nice. Again, make an appointment is a little bit of a strange thing to say, because making an appointment is something like you have to do at work. It's not something that would make you happy most of the time. Unless you add a little bit of context here and you say it's easy to make an appointment with them, unlike my boss who is always very distant. So let me add that just to clear it up. Unlike my boss who is... Okay. What did I do? Okay, unlike my boss who is always very distant and cold. Okay. For that reason, it is also easy to hang out with them. Okay, so again, it's not that make an appointment is wrong, it's that you need to add some more context to make it make more sense in English. Okay. And then by is like, instead of an appointment, I'm not quite sure what you mean by an appointment. If you are meaning an appointment, then what I added would fix it. But if you want to mean something else, try to paraphrase the word that you're trying to say. What is it easy to do with them? It is easy to get in touch with them. It is easy to stay in contact with them. Let me add that as an alternative. Okay. Are very talkative people, so it is easy to get a hold of them and make plans to hang out for after work. Okay. So it is so easy to get a hold of them and makes plans to hang out after work. Okay. I enjoy the company of my coworkers, so we have so many memorable stories from at work and outside of work. Okay. All right, so this is what I would change it to. It is so easy to get a hold of them. All right, nice. And then we had one more from by, which we will throw up here. Yeah, to get a hold of them, to schedule a time to hang out. Yes. That doesn't necessarily, and by the way, by has an excellent one right here. Okay. Let me throw this into part 3, because I know you guys are probably getting tired. So I do want to wrap this up before the 2-hour mark. So is it hard for young people to get a job nowadays? Perfect for the first half. Okay. Yeah. So get a hold of them. Again, it's a little bit, just because they're talkative doesn't mean that they're responsive. Talkative just means that they like to talk. Responsive means that they will respond to you quickly. So for example, I'm really talkative. I will talk your ear off. I will talk and talk and talk. But I'm not very responsive, and many of my friends will tell you that. Like, it's very hard to get in contact with me because I never check Line. I never check Facebook Messenger. And so it's really hard to get a hold of me because I'm not responsive. I'm talkative, but I'm not responsive. So I hope that this helps you guys out. Okay, let's go down and look at some more of these. It looks like Rashitha is having a comment about a previous answer. And yes, what you said would fix it. Unfortunately, I don't remember where your answer is. So I can just tell you that yes, Rashitha, your correction is good. I know what you're talking about. I just can't find where it is on this document right now. Okay. So let's answer some of these. Of course, if you guys have more speaking part 3 questions, feel free to put them into chat. But I will be happy to answer 1 or 2 of these right now if you'd like. So tell me which ones you guys would like me to answer, or add some more questions here. And I will go and grab a drink of water real fast. Okay, sorry about that wait. Again, remember guys, if you guys like this, if you guys find this useful, it will really help us out if you press the like button. Like, it helps us out so much. It also helps if you share with your friends. Seriously, we are trying to grow our audience. We're trying to get more and more and help more and more people. So if you guys could share and like, it would help us so much. Yeah, so do you guys have one of these questions that you guys want me to answer? I would be more than happy to give it to you. Also, let me know in comments if you guys want me to start like putting in a break after an hour, since it seems that you guys have energy to do this for a full 2 hours, which is great. But if you guys want to make sure that you have time to take a bathroom break, or like grab some water or a snack in between, we can accommodate for that. If you guys think that it's necessary. If you guys think that you have the energy and the brain power to do a full 2 hours back to back, we can just keep doing it as normal if you'd like. Okay, so which one of these questions do you want me to answer? And are there any more questions that you want to add? I will start answering buys because it's the first one that was given to me. But as you guys come up with your own answers, your own questions, feel free to just put them into chat. So, is it hard to find a job for young people these days? Sorry, we need to change this a little bit. Is it hard for young people? This is okay. This is a little bit better. Is it hard for young people to find a job nowadays? Yes. It is extremely difficult for most well-educated, middle-class people to find a job. Most young people have now graduated college and are looking for work. Unfortunately, there are so many of their peers doing the same that it is a buyer's market. There are fewer jobs than people looking for jobs, which means wages are low and jobs are few and far between. Ironically, in the trades, the opposite is true. This is why I'm thinking about becoming an electrician. Okay. So, this is what was true before COVID. Okay. And how work has changed by, yes, I can do that one, are precarious, at least here in Italy. Okay. Let's see. Nowadays, okay. Nowadays, let's change this a little bit. Nowadays, most jobs that, young people apply for are precarious. Okay. Precarious means, precarious is not necessarily wrong here. It's just, I haven't heard it used this way. I think it's okay. Most jobs that young people apply for are precarious. Okay, two things. Number one, this is an example of a high-level word where an examiner, if your English is not high enough, the examiner may assume that you're making a mistake. You're trying to say a different word, and so they're going to assume that you're wrong, even if you're right. What I recommend you do is explain what you mean with a follow-up detail. So give an example in your second sentence, and that would fix that problem. Okay. Rasitha says, nowadays everyone wants a respectful job after graduating from college or university. Okay. That is a good detail. However, you need to be more direct in your answer. So grammar's fine, vocab is fine. Respectful job is perfect. After graduating from college or university is perfect. But you've got to make sure that you directly answer the question. You haven't yet said if it's hard for young people. So before you say this sentence, I would say another sentence. So nowadays, whoa, go away. Nowadays, it's really hard for them because everyone wants a respectable job after graduating from college or university, but there aren't enough to go around. Okay, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, where you need to make sure that everything is connected directly to the answer. If it's not directly connected, it's off topic. You're not actually answering the question. Okay. Okay, and again, that is a great detail, Rashitha, for afterwards. This is a second detail that I would add after your first one, which I think is what you were trying to do. Okay. Yes. Additionally, oh, sorry, I didn't copy the right one. So again, we should add another CC word here. Additionally, universities train their students only in the theoretical and do not support them to enroll into various workshops and internships, and don't encourage them. again, we need to add a sentence that connects this all together. This means that they don't have any relevant work experience when hunting for a job and have difficulty finding one. Okay, and again, I'm highlighting in yellow the connection. The thing that you said is fine, but you still need to connect it to your main idea. Okay. Nice. So I'm going to answer the one that Bai wanted me to answer. Thank you so much for putting your answers up here. Again, I hope that you guys find my answer useful. If you guys ever want me to read something again at full speed, I can. When I'm speaking, when I'm typing, that's not my normal speed. That's not my normal speaking voice. And so you shouldn't practice listening and saying based on what I say when I speak slowly. It's important to copy an authentic accent. So I'm going to answer the one that Bai wanted me to answer, which was, how has work changed in the past 50 years? Okay. It's changed dramatically. We use a lot more technology in the workplace, and a lot more competency is expected of us. When my parents started working, you could get a good paying job in a factory that didn't require much talent. Nowadays, if you don't know how to use Excel or Word or PowerPoint, you are useless in an office job. Okay. Any other answers that you guys want to put up for me to fix, correct, or modify? I am more than happy to help you guys out. This is also getting to the end of the live stream, so there's two things I want to say before you guys start disappearing. Number one, you guys have so many questions that you guys can talk about. You guys did a great job putting these forward, and that was fantastic. You guys have also listened to some of my high-level answers and my high-level vocabulary. But remember, the only way to improve is to use it. So don't forget that it is perfectly fine to use our Discord. Let me see if I can open this in new incognito. Perfect. Darn it. It still knows I have the app. Basically, this is a free way to connect to other students who are trying to learn English. Discord is fantastic. On Saturday, we did a speaking class, and there were a bunch of people speaking together in English from all over the world. It was great. But what was even better was that yesterday, a bunch of students got together on their own and had an impromptu speaking class where they just practiced speaking with each other. And that made me so happy to see. It just made me ecstatic. It was fantastic. You guys can do the same thing, and you guys have so many questions that you guys can practice with. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me about the IELTS exam, about English in general, about learning English, about me personally? I can answer any question. I think someone asked me last time how much I made, like how much money I made. It was very personal. I will answer any question that you guys have. Just let me know in chat. Oh no, Van Tran just joined. You just missed it. Luckily, you guys can always go back and watch this again. Yay. So any questions for me? Any questions about these questions? Any questions about vocab I used? I can give you other ways to do that as well. All right, Bai says, what's the meaning of jobs are few and far between? So this is an idiom that means that there aren't many jobs. And jobs are few and far between. So that means when you're looking for jobs, there are few jobs and there's a big distance between them. There's not many jobs. It's hard to find one. No, Van Tran, you are great for popping in. Any more questions? I've got another minute or two before time is up. You guys have been a great audience, by the way. Thank you so much for coming in and having all these questions and answers as well. You guys were really great today. And please don't forget to share and like it if you found it useful. It really helps us out, and we are trying to grow the channel. So if you have any friends who are learning IELTS, don't forget to tell them about this great place. Okay, Jack of all trades. Raghav, thanks for coming. And In says, please explain Jack of all trades. Valentina, thanks. No, your English is fine. Be brave. Thanks for joining. And In, I can explain Jack of all trades. Let me do that real fast. Okay. Okay, so a jack of all trades means someone who is good at everything, but an expert of nothing. So just to give you a couple examples, he is a jack of all trades. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. Give me a problem, and I can probably figure it out, but I wouldn't be able to tell you how I did it. We don't want a jack of all trades for this position. We need an expert. Okay. And Raghav says, any sources to go through for Band 8 plus essays by DC or IDP? You know what? I will look into that for the next live stream, or I'll ask Phil for the writing one. They do have sample essays that they put out. Honestly, the best thing that you guys could do for high-level sample essays is, let me double check because I have the book right here. That's a 6. That's a 6.5. That's a 7. That's a 7. That's a 7. 6.5. Oh man, that's stupid. I was about to recommend that you get I was about to recommend that you get IELTS Academic 15, which is a great book. Which we actually have a link to down below, and if you do get it, it does help us out on our channel. Right down here, it's an Amazon link, but you guys don't have to buy it through us. You guys can go anywhere to pick this up. These are the real exams. This is a book of 4 real exams, listening, writing, reading, and speaking. And in the back, they do have model answers, but looking at them right now, the highest is a 7. So, Raghav, I'm sorry. Ask Phil during the writing day to give you a level 9 essay. I'm sure he'd love to do that. Okay. And does it have a negative connotation? For jack of all trades, it can be a negative connotation, but it's not always. So we do often use it as like, oh, he's good at everything, but he's not an expert at anything either. Nowadays, it's not such a good thing. But, I mean, if you're good enough at everything, it's not necessarily bad. Also, Van Tran asks, why did I decide to teach in Taiwan? Honestly, it was money. and then we came here and fell in love with it. So we went to we were in Guilin in China. It's a city in China, a very beautiful city. But because it's so beautiful, there were so many foreigners who lived there, which meant that the salary ceiling was really low. Like when I was working there, I was teaching at a university. I was teaching English at a university, and I was only making $650 US dollars a month. So it was a really low wage. 650 US dollars a month. So that's times 12. So I was only making $7,800 a year, which compared to most Americans is extremely low. And so we wanted to make more money, so we moved to Taipei, and we made more money. And it's nice. And then we also have free healthcare. Taipei is so amazing. And then there's a great public transportation system. It's really hard to leave Taiwan after you move here. Yes. All right. Can we go through the Simon Essays books? I'll look into what those are. We generally recommend IELTS Academic 15 because that's the real test book. What most people don't know is anything that is not Cambridge University Press is written by English teachers who were paid to write these articles. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. They are good practice. But the only real exams are from Cambridge University Press. Okay. For phrasal verbs and idioms, I will look that up, Raghav, for next class. That's a great thing to ask. And Uzal Mahumd says, any way to keep vocab? Yes. Get an expensive vocabulary notebook, like extremely expensive. So expensive that you will feel bad that you don't use it. And then write your vocab in there very neatly, very beautifully. I used to say this to my students. When you guys are writing your vocabulary in your vocab notebook, make sure you write it beautifully. And then I say, if your boyfriend or girlfriend was ugly, would you want to look at them? And the answer is no, because they're ugly. And so it should be the same with your vocabulary notebook. Your vocab notebook should be beautiful, so you want to look at it later. Also, Uzal, you should also be reading as much as possible. One of the reasons why you keep losing vocabulary is because you, I can actually show you, is because to learn a new word, you need to see it 26 times. You need to see a new word 26 times in order for it to get into your head. And reading is really good because you often see the same word again and again and again. You see it on page 2, and then page 4, and then page 5, and then page 10. And so that is one of the best ways to keep vocab in your head. But that is only for your receptive vocabulary. Your receptive vocabulary is the vocab that you recognize. You read it or you hear it and you know it. To be able to move it from receptive to productive, you need to use it. Vocab notebook or just using it in conversation. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for joining. It's so great to see everybody here. You guys were fantastic. And don't forget, Phil will have a class tomorrow at 3. And then I will be here again on Wednesday at 8. Also, don't forget, feel free to jump into Discord after class. Say hi to your classmates and get to know one another. Maybe have a little bit of a speaking class. It's free. You just need to jump into a chat room and start talking. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for all those questions. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Say hi to Phil for me on Tuesday, okay? Bye, guys.